Ladies and gentlemen, the news is in. Scientists have successfully opened a portal to another realm they are calling the End Realm and are attempting to communicate with the locals on the other side. Scientists have made contact with the hostile natives of the End Realm and they are pouring through the portal. It is now absolute chaos here in Minecraftia. Can organic material be used to fight the invaders? Some scientists say yes and have developed a virus that will awaken trees and shrubbery to fight the hostile invaders. In a strange twist that no one could have predicted, scientists are now saying that their virus has gone airborne, and not only can they not control the explosive life forms that they've created, the virus is now also awakening the dead. Zombies roam the streets in addition to explosive plant creatures and hostile invaders. The world has become unstable. How long can society survive?
Okay, let me see if I can get this to work. There we go. All right, I've got it mounted to my forehead. I think that it's recording. Howdy there, potential denizens of the future. If you survive this apocalypse and you're watching this, it probably means that I didn't survive it. But I'm glad to think that maybe you did. I don't know. Things aren't looking too hot for me right now. I've made it up to old Granddad Burnt Newt's little shack up here, this bunker on top of Mount Amaleucas, and so far it seems pretty secure. There's not really much of anything up here. I haven't seen any of the horrible mutated beasts that have been attacking my family and my friends and everyone I've ever known or loved. None of that, but also no friendly animals either. I'm not going to let that bring me down, though. I've already rooted through a lot of Granddad's stuff here, and looks like he had a lot of things here. A lot of things. And in fact, I think I'm going to have to immediately, right off the bat, build a chest, maybe two. I'm pretty handy. I know a thing or two about construction. I reckon I can build a chest to store some old Grandpappy stuff in, because he's got a lot of stuff. He doesn't have any good tools, though, I think is a problem. Everything he's got is a bit old and a bit of a poorer quality. Like, I don't know what to do with all of these stone tools, so what I'm thinking I need to do first off, unfortunately, I did bring my digital guide with me up here to the mountains, is I think I need to get into some Tinker's Construct, which is something that I am pretty familiar with at this point. I think Granddad even had a book on it. Right here we go. Tinker's Construct. Death info. That's pleasant, isn't it? Materials and you. Excellent. I think I already know a thing or two about this. Grandpappy, he taught me well. I'm pretty sure I know what I need to do. First things first, we need to get the materials to build the various different... Well, hold on. If we go back to the beginning of the book here, I think they're right there. Introduction, tools, material, smeltery, all of this stuff. What we really need to do, though, is take old Granddaddy's crafting table from up here, which looks like it's still in pretty good shape, but I know how to improve it. I'm going to change it into a crafting station. Well, I would have made Grandpappy proud with that. He would have been very impressed with my knowledge. I'm going to throw it down here on the floor so it'll take up less space, because Grandpappy was a very small man. He didn't need a whole lot of space, so he built a very small bunker. We're going to place that there, though, and now I can at least store things in there if I forget an item, and I'll never forget what's in there, courtesy of this top piece showing me, so that's pretty convenient. Next up, we're going to need to find some wood materials, wood-esque materials, sticks and stones. They can break your bones, but only words could ever really hurt you, if you know what I'm saying. I need to see if I can remember some of these recipes from heart. I reckon I can. That's going to give us our blank pattern, which combined with a single plank will give us a stencil table. When combined with a piece of wood will give us a part builder. And then we're going to need another crafting table. Combine it this here. That's going to give us a tool station. What's that sound? Oh, that might just be my digital display updating up here. I'm not sure. And then the final thing that we're going to need to build, well, maybe not the final, but a convenient thing to build, would be a chest. Excellent. That's going to give us our pattern chests. So these are sort of the core items. I do think there's another item, though. I think there's something else we can build. I'm not sure. I can't seem to find listed in here all the different things that we can build. I see tools. Might be handy. The lost pages. There we go. Parts chest. That's what I'm thinking of. That's the other thing that we can build. It's a bit involved, but nothing too hard. I think we've probably got everything we need to build it, in fact. Right here, we're just going to need another blank pattern. We ran out of those pretty quickly. And we will need another chest as well. And then I think from memory, we just do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then maybe that. That'll give us our part chest. Now we can string all of these together, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And there are some benefits to that, like sharing inventories and whatnot. So if we take these things and place them down in no particular order, I don't believe, but I do have a preferred order. We're going to throw down the stencil table first, and then next to that we're going to put our pattern chest. Then we're going to put the part builder, and then I'm going to add right here our parts chest, and finally on the end I will add the tool station. If we right click on here, you'll see the pattern chest is right over there, and we can go ahead and start making patterns. From here, we should be able to access the parts chest, so if we store parts in here, we should be able to access them later. I think you can access them from the tool station as well, but maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken on that one. I guess we need to decide what we're going to build first, so we can open up the materials and new book again, and this will give us a pretty good idea of the things we can build. Offhand harvesting? Not sure what that means. Repairing? Ooh, interesting. Oh, offhand harvesting. Tinker tools allow you to harvest blocks with both your main hand and your offhand. To do so, simply put a tool capable of harvesting blocks into your offhand, for me that would be my left hand, while holding another tool in your main hand. When breaking a block, the effective tool will automatically be used, so just walk up to those blocks and break them like usual. Well, that's pretty useful. Now, there's a bunch of different things that we could build here. There's some tools, once we get to the advanced tool forge, I believe it's called, that will combine different elements, which is useful. One of the things that I definitely want to build, though, is a mattock, because it's a combination of both an axe and a shovel, and that's going to take up less space in our inventory. And if we cover that or carry that around in our offhand, should be pretty useful. So for that, we're going to need a shovel head, an axe head, and a tool rod. And fortunately, we have exactly 3 blank patterns to make our tool head, which we can put in the pattern chest. We can make ourselves an axe head, I'm assuming is what that is, and we can make ourselves the tool rod. We're all out of patterns, but we'll make more later if we have to. Now the question is, what are we going to build these things out of? We got to find materials. I'm not sure if materials are even listed here. Tool materials, there we go. We have wood, we have stone, we might have a bit of flint. Bone is a pretty good option. I don't really want to build out of stone because if you build a handle out of stone, it lowers the durability. We could build the head out of it, I guess, but honestly, there's better things that we could use. We'd be better off using a wooden handle over stone, but if we advance a little bit here, same for flint. Flint's not very good as a handle. It's better for the head than both wood and stone, though, so it's an option. As far as early items, bone actually has the best durability for a handle, and it has a 1.1 modifier. So if we have any bones lying around, or I guess if Grandpa has any bones lying around, that would be pretty useful. And he does! Okay, good, because I don't want to go down into the city to do that. So we're going to head over to the parts builder. We're going to put that inside of here, and we're going to select from over here the handle. And there we go, bone tool rod. It says fractured. I wonder if that matters. Surely not. And I guess we just leave that there. Looks like we can just pick the one that we want, so you don't actually have to take it out. That's pretty nifty. Once more, of all the early things that we've got, it looks like bone might be our best option for the tool handle as well, because it has the highest durability. And all of the early items can all mine up to iron, so it's not perfect, but we're not really going to be mining with this anyway. So it doesn't really matter now, does it? So let's get that axe head, and let's get the shovel head. I'm not too terribly concerned about the quality of this tool, because once we have metals, we can make better tools anyway. But we're going to click on mattock. We're going to put our handle in there, our shovel head, or I'm sorry, our axe head and our shovel head. Now, before we take it out, we can also name it. I'm going to name it Tool-E, like Wally, but a tool. Done. There it is. And if we inspect it, you'll see it has a 7.3 attack damage, which is pretty good. It's got a mining speed of 4.84. And it's got room for 3 modifiers. Now, we could add different things to this to modify it. And in fact, I reckon the book probably... Is there no quick way to get back to the... Oh, right there. Boom. Okay, nice. We can go to modifiers here. And it looks like we've got haste, luck. Luck's not going to be very useful for this type of tool. Well, I guess maybe with farming, but I think haste would be better. Sharp if you want to use it as a weapon. Diamond if we want to make it last a little bit longer. There's a lot of different things you can add. Height and width. Wait, what? Height. Have you ever wished your tool could affect a higher area? Now it can. Increase the height of the area affected. Only affects blocks. Does not work for weapons. Can be combined with width. I don't really know what that does, but also it looks a bit more expensive than we can currently deal with right now. Some of the easier things here is going to be haste if we have any redstone, luck if we have any lapis, sharp, again, not really useful for this type of tool. I would like to add more durability, but I don't know. We can easily repair this with just using more bones. It's dark outside now, so what I think we'll do is we'll go take a nap, but the next thing we want to head toward is the smeltery. Once we build the smeltery, we can start introducing metals into this whole game, and I think that's going to be pretty sick, if I say so. I'm so lonely. I wish that my wife and child weren't dead. This apocalypse sucks. I'm going to take a nap, though, so it's not dark outside anymore. All right, beautiful morning. I didn't really sleep that well. I think the dead came wandering by while I was in bed. It wasn't pleasant, I'll say that. So the smeltery here, we're going to need 3 base ingredients to get started with it. They're not listed, I can't help but notice. That's strange. But fortunately, unless they are somewhere else, seared furnace, tinker tank, what? What is going on here? The tinker tank can be any size, from 3x3 to 11 to 11, any height, from larger structures. What? The tinker tank is a giant tank holding much more liquid than a smeltery, but without heat, causing no alloys or smelting. That's interesting. Did not know that that was a thing. The seared furnace is a master to all furnaces, cooking quarter stacks at once and cooking food with greater speed. I didn't know that these things existed. What? No, but really, I know how to get started with that. We're going to need sand, we're going to need gravel, and we're going to need clay. I see sand right down there, so I guess we'll head over there to collect some. Can we put this in my offhand? And does it work? See, I thought it would automatically... Maybe if I have this tool in this hand? I was under the impression it would automatically use... Okay, the most useful. I feel lied to. Well, what if I put my sword in there, though? Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe that's on me. I'll have to reference the book again later, as soon as I figure out how to negotiate my way down from this terribly scary hill. I could just jump headfirst into the water, and that gets rid of the issue of getting down the hill. But now I'm not too sure how I'm going to get back up there. Oh, look, gravel. Hey, we got the 2 of the 3 main ingredients right here. Surely clay won't be too far behind. And this shovel's pretty quick. This mattock here is pretty quick. Alright, so that is a stack of this stuff. This lovely gravel here. I don't think we're going to be able to get a stack of sand from right here, but we'll get as much as we can. Oh, interesting. I just now realized that the mattock is effective on wood, dirt, and plants. It doesn't mention sand. And now that I'm looking at it, my shovel definitely mines up sand much, much quicker. Well, that's a darn shame. Alright, so we got a stack of sand and gravel. I think we need to head back up. Oh, I need to build like an elevator or some sort of lift system, because climbing this mountain every day is going to get very tedious. Also, I don't really have a good food source right now. Kind of hard to get food, what with the instability in the world and the apocalypse and everything. It could be all this. Oh, look, it's Grandpappy's boat. All the stores were pretty much empty when I went through to look them. That was inconvenient. I couldn't get any more food from our house because it was too painful to go back in there for me. What with the dead wife and child and all. Very tragic backstory that I have. So, you know, I'm a bit hungry. Grandpappy's left some food behind, though. So that might come in handy. Alright, so very first thing we need to do is I need to do a bit of work on my tool, because I've damaged it quite a lot. I think if we put it here in the middle, though, and we just add a bit of bone, there we go. That'll repair it a bit. It's not the best when it comes to durability. I can make it better, but this is really just a temporary tool until I've got better materials. Unfortunately, it looks like Grandpappy did leave some raw meat up here, and somehow, I guess maybe because it was winter, it didn't spoil, and that suits me just fine, because I know something we can do with that raw meat. I don't really want to cook it, because I'm worried the smell might attract the undead, but somehow or another, just gotta remember how, we can align these in such a way that we could... This is not right at all. Oh, of course, they need to be slabs. My bad. Grandpa would be ashamed. That's going to give us some drying racks, though. And those are going to be very useful. We're going to hang them up over here, I guess. And we're going to hang some of this meat on there. And in time, it'll turn into jerky. Grandpappy's favorite. Grandpappy used to drive everyone crazy with that jerky. You just smack it, and he didn't have any teeth, so he couldn't really chew on it like one should chew on jerky. So... it's just a mess, and he was loud, obnoxious, and Grandpappy, no one really misses you, I'll be honest. Fortunately, we do have some cooked chicken with us, though, because the cities are overrun with chickens. I'm not sure if there's a correlation between them and the apocalypse. I don't really know. What I do know, though, is we do have chicken. And the last thing that we need right now... Whoa, look at all of this gravel right here next to the hut that we could have collected. All right, well, the next thing that we need is clay. And I'd like to find some near the surface, because I don't want to spend a lot of time underwater, because the squids have been acting peculiarly, and I'm just a bit concerned that maybe they're going to turn on us, like maybe the disease has affected them too, and they're going to try to eat everybody. I don't know that for a fact. Just saying, they've been acting suspicious, and I've never really trusted the squid people. Look at them out there. They're planning something. I don't trust them. Lots of gravel, though. All right, clay. Ah, here we go. Here's a bit of clay. Excellent. Not a whole lot here, but should be enough to get us started. If we could get 64 clay, I'd be real happy with that. Man, we're getting lucky. I honestly didn't expect to find this much so close to base. And it breaks much faster than I would think it would. It breaks a lot faster than the gravel and the sand did. All right, good. We've got a little bit more than a stack. Ugh. Really shouldn't stay underwater that long. So we got more than a stack, which is excellent, because we're going to need more later on anyway. But for right now, I think we've got plenty. Let's head back to the base. Let's head back up to the top of Mount Amalukis. Hopefully avoid the sounds of the dead that are currently happening all around us. And maybe let's grab a bit more food on our way up there. Because look at these guys aren't doing anything. Alright, the sun is starting to set, and that is the worst time to be outside, out and about, because that's when their kind are at their strongest. And it's generally a good idea to stay under the cover of sunlight, or if the sun is gone, inside the safety of your bunker. We will be safe inside here, so I might not even take a nap. What I am going to do is I'm going to head over to our crafting station, and I'm going to combine the clay, the sand, and the gravel, and that's going to give us grout. I am grout. That's going to give us 2 stacks worth of grout. Now, with the grout, what you're going to want to do is smelt it up into seared bricks, and we're going to need a whole lot of those. Fortunately, Grandpappy was smart enough to have 2 furnaces, but was he smart enough to keep fuel on hand? A little bit of fuel. We could make more if we make another furnace. What we can do is we can convert wood into more fuel. And in fact, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I can use the real honest-to-goodness coal here to fire these up. Then I'll place this one in the center, add in the charcoal, and start making more charcoal. It's brilliant. I'm going to let that go while I catch up on some sleep. Once you have 4 seared bricks, if you're so inclined, you can combine them together to create a seared brick, but it's in block form. Useful for things, I guess. As you can see here, we can use any combination of seared blocks, glass, tanks, and drains. Now, the book doesn't really give us any guidance on how to make those things, unfortunately. But, I know what to do, so nobody panic. I've decided that while I wait for the rest of the blocks to finish smelting, now would be as good a time as any to clear away some of the mountain here, so that I get a better visual of what's going on around me, and nothing and no one, or no ones, and no things can sneak up on me inside the bunker. I want to have good visibility. I want the whole top of this hill to be bald, if possible. Alright, well, we can see that much further around us now, so that's pretty handy. Oh, and the jerky's done. Whew. See, it normally takes a lot longer with technology, but technology is what got us into this problem in the first place. So I'd rather do it the old-fashioned way. Just hanging it up on a rack and letting it dry out. Oof. Smell is great, too. We're pretty close here with the seared bricks. I reckon we have enough now that we can move on to the next stage once I get some of this nonsense out of my inventory. Alright, so the number 1 thing that we're going to need here is the smeltery controller. That's the brains of the smeltery. We're going to need a table to empty things into, and to that end, we might as well also go ahead and get a casting basin. Now, in order to get items out, we're going to need one of these bad boys here, if I can remember the recipe, which I apparently can't. Ah, there it is. Ah, the drain. Good. And you'll have to plug a faucet into that drain. We might as well go ahead and build 2 of them. So 2 faucets and 2 drains. There we go. The final component that we're going to need, and we're going to need a bit of glass for it. Unfortunately, I don't have any glass. That means we've got to go back down the mountain again to get some more sand. I wish I had thought about that beforehand. Alright, good. We don't even have to cross the river to do this, which is great. That means I don't have to interact with any of the squid folk. We don't really need a whole lot of this. This, in fact, is probably enough right here. But might as well get a bit extra. Why not, you know? My goodness, time is passing by quickly here in the apocalyptic world. Maybe the time is unstable as well. Who could say? We're pretty close to finishing up there. Pretty close to finishing up on both of these two. There. Alright. Go ahead and make me some glass then, please. Alright, so really we only need this one piece of glass here so that we can create... Ta-ta-ta-ta... the seared tank. The heart of the smeltery. Retains liquid when broken. Now, as for where we're going to put this, with the sun setting, I think we'll have to decide tomorrow. Okay, now I could set all of this up inside the house, but it's pretty cramped in there. We do have this underground mining area that we're going to have to expand eventually because we have to go find lava to power this darn thing. I think we should just set it right outside, though. I'm going to clear away some of this grass, and we'll build it right here. Eventually, I'm going to fence all of this in so we don't have to worry about the monsters, but for right now, let's just clear out this top layer of soil, and we'll get to work. Oh, also, though, we're going to need many, many more bricks in block form. Oh, the tool's all out of juice. Okay, we can fix that. Oh, I'd hoped I'd left the bone in here, but apparently I didn't. Threw it back in here. We might have to go bone collecting later if we're going to keep this thing fully repaired and operational. There we are. Okay. I figure we'll go ahead and make it 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're actually going to need 9 for the base. You can make these pretty small. You could make the base just 1, but it would only be able to smelt 1 block at a time, which is obviously not the ideal situation. It would be able to smelt more than that. We could have it to where it could smelt 4 at a time. See, my concern is we don't have enough seared brick to make this as big as I kind of want it to. So let's place some of these things down and just see what it is we're working with. So we've got our tank, which we're going to put here. And then we've got our smeltery drains. And now that I think about it, we're going to need a bit of space to either side to drain these things. So we'll put them over here. But also, I should probably leave these like that. So drain 1 and drain 2. And then we can hook the faucets up to those. We're going to put our controller right there, and then we're going to have to put down a table and a base. And you don't need those for this to operate, but that's where I'm going to put them. See, so if we go with this setup, we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Convert the rest of these over. We're going to get 10 blocks. We might have just enough here. Okay. I think that'll work. Yeah, look at that. It's all fired up. It's operational. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 of these like so. And later on, we can make this taller if we want to. But for right now, this is operational. We just need a bit of juice to get it flowing. And also, we could afford to fill that back in. Now, like I was saying, we're going to need lava to power this. I've got a bucket of milk here, which I guess I can use that bucket to collect some lava. But first, we have to go find some lava. This book hasn't updated at all. It's been completely useless. What a shame. We are actually kind of hurting for tools. We actually don't have enough resources to build very nice tools, so we're not going to. One thing we are going to do, though, is make some torches. Excellent, 28 of them. We're going to head down with stone pickaxes, and we're going to go find lava. Now, we should go pretty deep. We need to build a door for this. I don't want to be snuck up on. If we went to the bottom of the mountain and started digging, I think we'd probably reach lava a bit sooner, but that's fine. We'll just start here, dig our way, eventually reach the base of the mountain. It'll be fine. That works. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. It'll do for now. Now we just have to extend this mine all the way down. And probably not start there, actually. But here. Alright, well, we finally found lava. That took much longer than I care to admit. At one point, I did have to go back upstairs and make some more pickaxes, but at long last, here we are. And it looks like we've actually broken into a bit of a cave system here. So we might as well hop up, take a look around, secure the joint, maybe get some of this iron that we've been talking about needing for a while. so we can make a decent iron pick and get some gold, which we're going to need. There's a lot of different materials that we're going to need moving forward that we just don't have because, I don't know, I guess Grandpappy back in the day didn't think that he'd need them. But here we go. Let's see. Pretty quiet down here. Huh. Good. At least the dead haven't made their way this deep. I hear some running water. So we're probably close to another underground cave, maybe with a small river flowing through it. How nifty would that be? Pretty nifty, spoiler alert. I don't think we can mine that with this archaic pickaxe that we've got here. All the iron, though, we can go ahead and collect. Now, I say we go ahead and dig around the lava here. Figure out exactly what it is we're dealing with. Okay, so we're actually dealing with a smaller pool than I had initially thought. This will do, though, so I'm going to chug down this milk. What we could have done was we could have brought the whole tank down here with us. That would have been a clever idea, but unfortunately, I'm not that clever. So we're just going to take this upstairs. We've got to come back down here and get that gold, so what we might go ahead and do is just get the tank and bring it with us. Oh, good, and it's daytime outside, too. I had this horrible feeling that we were going to get up here and it was going to be just pitch black. All right, we're going to take the tank down there with us. Temporarily just shut this thing down. Shouldn't do any lasting harm. We're going to need to get at least 3 pieces of iron. I don't want to use all of it, because once we get the smeltery going, we can use it to double the amount of iron we have. So once that's done, I don't know, I'll put some blocks of wood in there or something. It's not like we're hurting for blocks of wood. And then we'll get a bit more charcoal, because at this point, why not? Honestly. More charcoal, fewer problems. That's what Grandpappy never said that. I'm saying it, though. Okay. Keep going with what you're doing there. Thank you. In the meantime, we're going to create right here possibly our last, well, I was going to say our last basic tool. Probably not the case, though. We'll probably build, even once we get the smeltery going, it's likely that we will build some basic tools again in the future. Now, we don't strictly need gold for casting. It's just one of the options. We can make temporary casts using other materials. We can make a cast out of aluminum brass if we had aluminum and, I believe, copper. But we have gold right here, so we might as well go ahead and grab that and use it. And also go ahead and grab more iron, because we're going to need a lot of it. All right, and the final step, we're going to take our seared tank, plop it down, and slowly move over the lava. I think it'll hold 4 pieces. Oh! Our 4 blocks of lava. Good. So we haven't completely drained this pool. Ugh, now, it doesn't show any in there, but if you hover over it, it shows it's got 4 buckets, 4,000 millibuckets, so 4 buckets worth of lava. Let's grab this redstone as well. Maybe we can speed up some of our tools now, since we have a pretty good supply of redstone down here. Oh, and what's that? Oh, an emerald. Hey, those are pretty useful too, if you want to increase your tool's durability by 50%. It might be worth it depending on what the tool's material is to begin with, but you're probably better off going with diamond. All right, we're going to plop this down. There we go. It's full on fuel. And the first thing we're going to do with it is actually not smelt up any ores. I think we're actually going to put some blocks of cobblestone in there. I need to go get a bit more gravel and a bit more sand, and I'll show you why here in just a second. 6 of those, and then if there's 6 sand down here, get 6 sand as well. 6 was an arbitrary number. I thought that's how much clay we had left, but we actually had a lot more clay left. Doesn't matter. We're going to get some more grout, and we're going to cook that up in here, because we're going to need a few more bricks for the project that we've got. Also, let's go ahead, and that should be done smelting by now. We should have, yep, some seared bricks, 2 blocks and 1 ingot's worth of seared stone in there now. So let's add our gold. I don't think it'll mix with the seared stone. I don't know what it would make if it did. There we go, though. We've got our seared brick. And what we're going to do now is, there's a very easy way to expand onto these smelteries that don't involve constantly getting more gravel, more clay, and more sand. And that's just to take your seared brick right here, place it there. And we're going to right-click here. You can select which one of these you want by just clicking on the one on the top to switch it to the bottom. So we can empty... Oh, first off, we need the gold on the bottom. And then you see in the casting table, we put one of our seared bricks. So we're going to right-click there. The gold's going to pour out, and it's going to create a mold. And once it's done, there we go. We can use this as an ingot cast. So first off, we can make ingots with that. Or if we have seared stone down there on the bottom, we can right-click. And once it's cooled off, look at that. Boom. We can use just cobblestone to make seared bricks. Or if we take a look in here, you'll see we have 2 blocks worth. So you can just straight up make a whole seared block. Now, it doesn't look like a brick block. You'll see what it looks like here in just a second. It's not ugly or anything. It's just a bland block. But you can also use these to expand the size of your smeltery. They're not as nice looking as the bricks, but they're definitely more functional. And that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to make a whole lot of these so we can make this thing a lot bigger and smelt more things. But also probably take a nap because it is getting dark. Okay, so right now you can see we can smelt up to 9 things at a time. But once we get this final block, you're never going to guess what happens. Don't even try to guess. It's going to be so shocking and amazing that you'll never see it coming. Look at that. We can do 16 now, which is pretty nifty. All right, everyone. Well, I guess that's it for today's surviving the apocalyptic vlog. I think when we come back next time, I'm going to make me some better digging tools and maybe take a look at that really cool multi-block structure that we saw in the instruction book earlier. I'm not sure. I have developed a small bit of technology that will allow me to send this video into the future and allow you denizens of the future to send messages back to me. It's called a comment section. It'll be available down below, so if you want to tell me what life is like after the apocalypse and maybe give me some hot tips and ideas, do so there. Until next time, thank you folks for watching. My name has been Rees. May God have mercy on all of us. Amen.